Hello YouTube, this is Black Bomba Fool here with a new deck video about an anti-meta deck that I've been working on since a while. I just made an Gemini Lightbeat deck profile update in German, but please don't let it bother you, just look at the deck and tell me what you need, because I'm American and I can speak German perfectly and English a little. Well, perfectly as well, but I'm not used to making deck videos in English, so I'm just gonna try my best here and just look at it if you like it. Alright then, let's start with the deck. We have 3 Fossil Dyna, Pachi, Cephalosaurus. This card is totally amazing. It prevents your opponent, or it prevents everyone, both players, not to special summon monsters at all. It might not have as many attack points as like Vanity's Fiend or something like that, but you can protect it with your face downs or with this card right here, Safe Zone, which I will talk about later a little bit more. But this card wins games. It wins games for you. We'll leave it. Three copies of it, and you normally can always win when you have this thing out. Rabbit. Plants, what they're gonna do if they cannot special summon. Now we got 2 Banisher of the Radiance. This is a great card as well. You have this guy out your first turn. He can't use Valor. He can't use Maxi. He can't use his whole graveyard because everything's gonna be removed. And this Sea Lancer deck that is walking around with frogs, monarchs, and this Sea Lancer guy. They need their monsters in they need their frogs in the graveyard, and with this guy you can just prevent it. It will not reach the grave. Every single card will be removed. Every single one. And that's very good. And against Dark Worlds, this card is perfect. This is very great against Dark Worlds. And against Insectors, they can use their Hornet. Very great. Now we got 2 Doom Caliburnight. Some people might think that it's not too good at this moment because 3 Valor, 3 Maxi and stuff, they can just discard it, and then he has to tribute himself. But I haven't made that experience too often yet that they really have just done that. And I always called him at the right moment, or just was lucky that they didn't have no Maxi or Valor. So I'm pretty impressed with this card. And yeah, it can negate Rabbit, and can negate Dragonfly from the Insectors. It's just overall very good card. Now let's go on to Kaiko, the Ghost Destroyer. Yeah, this card is very good because I'm expecting a lot of plant decks at the YCS here in Germany and Leipzig. So I'm gonna think plants and the Sea Lancer stuff is gonna be walking around here, and this guy can just prevent your opponent from removing, so he can't use no Spore to remove a plant in his graveyard or something. And if he makes battle damage, I can remove 2 monsters in his graveyard from play. But why not? Very good card. 2 Thunder King Ryo. There are 3 positive things to say about this guy. One thing is, he has 1900 attack, great beat stick. 2, he prevents your opponent, or even you, but you don't search anything except with Pot of Duality. It prevents your opponent from searching cards to his hand. That means no Rhoda, no Pot of Duality for him if you already use yours perfectly. That's perfect. Can't use no Zangan. Everything that could, or Dupe Frog, or what you call it, it's like a Zangan. You just can't do it. And number 2, it negates every single Synchro, every single Exceed. Yeah, it's not like Roach that it has to be a rank. No, you just can negate an in-turn special summon. Like Cyber Dragon, every Synchro, every Exceed, whatever. 3 great things about this guy. You have to play him in anti-meta. Now let's get on to 1 Breaker. May seem crazy, but 2 breakers have just not worked for me. I'm just scared if I get this Sea Lancer crap, because they don't set anything, and plants don't set too much at all. So 1 breaker was enough for me. 1 Spirit Reaper for my Thx, 1 Spirit Reaper, 1 Grand Mole, and 1 Gale. I can't really say that I would not play these guys or even win games sometimes without these. Gale is just great. You can synchro, you can do exceeds, and you can just shrink a Stardust with it, or something, yeah, that would just get on your nerves. Play them, shrink, boom, attack if you can get over it. Grand Mole is just so totally broken. It's just crazy, totally crazy. You can pop or send back every synchro, every exceed that you want, and normally when you do that, you have a plus because you keep yours. He doesn't get his monster to his hand; it goes back to the extra deck perfectly. And this is just good for the rabbit matchup. Sorry about the cameras wiggling with my iPhone. Camera's good, right? Hope so. Okay, just good overall. Good card. It protects me. Gives me time to search to get cards to my hand. Yeah, and you can't run over it with Dolka or Lagia. Great card. And if he doesn't have no field, just kick him a card. So that's it for the monsters. So let's get on to the spell cards. We have 2-3 Arvius, Pot of Duality. This card is just great for the consistency. Sorry. Just makes the whole deck a little bit faster. You can drop through your deck, just get your combos to your hand if you just need it. You have a Fossil Dyna. Oh, come on, give me a safe zone. Maybe in these 3 cards that you're allowed to get, you have a safe zone in it. And your opponent will have to think how he's gonna get it away, or he'll just put an MST on it, depending on what you're gonna get. Pot of Duality is just great. Makes the whole deck consistent. 2 Shard of Greed. Yeah, I forgot to take it for this deck video, take it out from my deck, but from the other deck. But if you don't know what it does, it's like this. It's a continuous spell card. If you draw in your normal draw phase, this card gets 1 greed counter. So if you draw another, then you draw another, it has 2 greed counters. And after 2 greed counters, you can send it to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So, and that means your opponent has the choice. He makes you do good plus, just a +1. Yeah, lets you draw 3 cards in 1 turn. Or he takes an MST on it and and you can protect your other back row that you have. Very good card. Overall, great. It never does minus to you. Except you have 2 counters and he does an MST on it before you want to put it away. Do you want to send it to the graveyard? You just put a bribe on it because you can risk that. You let him draw 1, you draw 2. 2 Forbidden Lance. Very good card. I play it because I want to protect my monsters from Hole or Dimensional Prison or Bottomless, something like that. And or if his monster is too strong, you just say, okay, you want to play anything? Any response? No. I would like to go into the damage step. Bam. You lose 800, attacks with a 2200 monster, whatever, and he loses the battle, and his monster gets destroyed, and he takes damage. 1 smashing, just to get monsters away. 1 Nobleman of Crossout. Yeah, people have been laughing about this, but I like it. I've been playing this card in my normal anti-meta since I've been playing it. Yeah. Every time you play against the meta plays against anti-meta, they always set monsters first. They always set monsters because they can't do anything at the beginning. What are they gonna do if there's a 1900 attack Ryo sitting there? So what will they do? They wait, take their time, set a monster, and that's it. And if you have this, pop, bye bye, Dandelion or whatever it is. Now to the staples: Hole, Reborn, and Book. Self-explanatory. Alright then, that's it for the spell cards. Let's get on to the trap cards. Sorry. There we go. We have 2 Safe Zone. Like I said, then to explain this card again. You can equip a face-up attack position monster. And it cannot be destroyed by battle. It cannot attack your opponent directly, but it cannot be destroyed by battle, yeah. Cannot be destroyed by card effects from your opponent. Cannot be destroyed by card effects at all. Or be selected for a card effect. Or even be selected for a card effect. Good thing is, so if you have this with a Fossil Dyna, on the field, if he does not have no MST or a Caius to put this card to remove this card, you just switch Fossil Dyna to death, and there you have a great special summon negation barrier. Good to say it that way. 2 Dimensional Prison. Just remove shit. Why not? 2 Solemn Warning. Self-explanatory. Every anti-meta must play this. 2 Bottomless. Just too good nowadays. With that rabbit crap running around, just he summons his rabbit, no problem. 2 Cabazools. Bam, both of them go and both of them leave the field forever. 1 Torrential and 1 Merforce, just my massive destroyers. Always great. Must play them. And for my spell and trap card, negation. 2 Bribe, 1 Solemn, 1 Road. I'm gonna keep it this way. That's great. I've been playing this way in my anti-meta or in any anti-deck or Gemini deck I've been playing, and it's been running very good. And they can't play 2 roads if someone would suggest that, because you have Fossil Dyna in here, so it will not be 2 dead and just negate. And with Bribe you can always decide when to negate and when not. Alright then. That's that. And now we get on to the extra deck. I'll just go through it, I don't have to explain nothing. 2 Stardust, 1 Arcanite, Archfiend, Armor Master, Armed Wing, Iron Chain Dragon, Gaia Knight, and Leviathan. There's a few missing, but I'm gonna get those at the next YCS. Now let's get on to the sideboard. No, we just have 1 Pulling the Rug. I didn't know what else to put in, so it's just in here. Because Monarchs or some crap. 2 Smashing Ground, just to get the Rabbit matchup even better. Or when you know your opponent is playing anti-meta as well, you can always put these in. 2 Shadow Imprisoning, very good as well against Dark World and Insectors. Always put these in. Take your Dooms out. 2 Summon Limit. This card, if you do not know what it does, this is a very good card actually. No player can summon more than 2 times per turn. So that means your opponent draws, you activate this. It doesn't have no MST. Okay, he looks at it, no problem. But he realizes, if he's not stupid, if he summons Tour Guide and summons another Tour Guide, he cannot exceed, because that would be the 3rd summon. Same thing with Rabbit. Rabbit, first summon, 2 Cabazools, no exceed, those things get destroyed perfectly. 2 Evacuation Device. It's like 2 more Grand Moles for exceeds and synchros. Just great card actually. 3 MST. I just like it. MST is just good, depending on how your opponent's gonna side. You never know, so just put those in. And 3 Dimensional Fissure. Yeah, just against Dark World as well. Plants. Anything that just plays with the graveyard or some kind of Lightsworn, Chaos, whatever. That's it for the deck. Hope you liked it. I'm gonna make more in English and German from a Gravekeeper deck is coming up. And yo, peace out, rate, and subscribe.